All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the 12th episode for The Walking Dead Season 9. We'll do a Q&A in this one. We'll start with giving our thoughts on that symbol that we got to see as Ezekiel, Carol, and the Kingdom rode by that sign. Alright, man, and spoiler warning if you guys have not seen episode 11 yet for The Walking Dead Season 9. So I did my review earlier for that. If you guys didn't see it last night, I'll have it in the end-screen videos for you here, as well as my predictions for episode 12. It looks great. Finally going to get to see Beta appear in the television series, so that's all good stuff. So this one, I want to say, was kind of the top question that came in after episode 11, which is, what does the symbol mean that we see the Kingdom ride by there on the street after they leave the movie theater, or the theater where they get the projector light? And this one is kind of tough to answer, because really all you see is it's just basically three lines. There's a line at the top and then two lines coming down. So I actually have not seen it before from what I can remember. I also looked up different Greek symbols and letters and that. And, nothing really there either. They've been kind of using some of those lately, Alpha and Omega and things like that. But this one, I'm not sure about. I also don't recall seeing it in math either. But if you guys have any insight into this one, you can leave the comments below. But what is kind of interesting to me is that it shows itself right after Ezekiel and Carol ride by it. And what Ezekiel says is, he says that maybe we're done losing for a while. And then they ride right by it, and they kind of show it sort of in an ominous way. It's also red too, like a blood red as well. And kind of the way the bottoms of it sort of look, it's almost like feet. So some people did point out that it kind of looks a bit like a stick figure without a head. So the Walking Dead Pepper said, comic spoilers, kinda. Hey Trav, the mystery symbol on the sign kind of looks like a stick figure without a head on it. So a headless stick person. And to put it in context, that it shows itself right after Ezekiel is saying that, maybe we're done losing for a while. And I almost feel like with him there, he's saying maybe we're done losing people for a while, or we're done losing people as things are happening. It kind of goes back into what we saw with the Kingdom before, or during season 8 of All Out War, before the 50 cal, when he's feeling very optimistic and he's like, okay, finally, it feels like things are all in order and that everything's going to be fine. We're going to win this war and there's going to be no problems. And the next thing you know, the 50 cal just wipes out majority of his soldiers, right? In maybe 10 seconds, as it's over, almost his entire troop is just completely mowed down by that 50 cal in an instant. So it's kind of funny for Ezekiel that at the moments when he feels the most optimistic, or the most like things are going to work out well for him in the Kingdom, those are the times when he ends up paying the biggest price. So in the scenes earlier on in the episode, it kind of felt like he was going to just leave the bulb and say, well, we're not going to risk our lives, let's go back, because he has been overconfident before in the past, and now he's changed to the point where he's deciding not to take any kind of risk that could hurt his people, especially for something as silly as a light bulb for a fair, to be able to play movies on the big screen, on a projector screen. But Carol sort of talks him into it. So she sort of, maybe admires that part of Ezekiel. She admires that he has this kind of overwhelming optimism, and that he sees things that way, and she doesn't want him to lose that. So she tells him, no, let's do it, let's go for it. And they do, and they get the bulb, and nobody is hurt or anything, and everything goes smoothly. And it's a bit of fun too for them, because they get to put down a whole bunch of walkers and kill a whole bunch, and have fun in the process. We get music as we see it go through and the whole thing. So that's cool. But yeah, so for the time being right now, is it foreshadowing that Ezekiel's head will be cut off? Probably. That said, you guys know, man, I don't want to see Ezekiel be killed off. I thought, going into this season, if you've seen my predictions, my death predictions and that for this season, I was just saying, just stop killing people for a while. Just for a little while. It's but it's The Walking Dead. It's the formula. It's what they continue to do, and they're gonna stick to it. And it looks like we actually might see in terms of like all at once, maybe the biggest massacre in terms of the number of characters that are killed off all at once, in episode 15 or before. And that's only a few episodes away. I mean, 12, 13, we're looking at like 3 or 4 episodes here to be seeing the Whisperers absolutely go on a rampage and be cutting people's heads off left, right, and center. And who knows what else, pikes and whatever. I don't know, man. We're going to, this is going to be, it kind of sucks, man, because I don't want to see them kill off Ezekiel. Like, it's like, oh, man. It's like, I like Ezekiel. Well, they're not going to kill off Carol, so that's fine. But maybe they feel like, they kind of have to go with that one the same way as what you might expect. But I was hoping when this season started that Ezekiel would survive and Rosita would survive and Eugene would survive, and maybe they would, swap out, some of those for other people or do things differently. But, based on what we're seeing right here, is this foreshadowing for Ezekiel's death? Probably. And that's kind of unfortunate because I want to see Ezekiel live, man. I'm going to be disappointed at the end of the season. Him and Jerry are so, they're so positive, and you don't get to see that a lot in The Walking Dead. So I'm kind of sad to see this, but it's probably going to be what it's going to be. Leave a comment below, or if you guys think it means something else, and you can find any usage of that, because I couldn't find any usage of that symbol anywhere. But if you guys do, I mean, there's a lot of languages, there's a lot of places to look, so you can scroll around online, see what you can find, and leave comments below for your interpretation of what that means. Going from right now, it seems to me like that's probably the best explanation so far of what it means, and it's unfortunate because that's really not what I want to see. I like Ezekiel. Giuseppe DeRosa says, QandA, do you think Beta will be more intimidating than Alpha? Yeah. Yeah. Easy answer. Next question. No, yeah, man, Beta looks awesome in this episode coming up. I can't wait to see it. And again, people have asked the question, why do they all listen to Alpha? Why don't they just kill her or something and take over? It's like the Spencer question or the quote from Negan. If you wanted to kill Rick and just take over, why didn't you just kill Rick and take the fuck over? So it's like, that's the question, is why wouldn't anybody challenge Alpha and take over the Whispers? It's because they all know they're not going to be able to beat Beta. They all know that. The only way you could beat Beta probably is, if you're a random Whisperer, is if you somehow find ammunition and maybe an assault rifle or something, or an Uzi, then maybe you can beat Beta then, maybe. But otherwise, yeah, you're not going to challenge. You're not going to do it. You're not going to challenge Alpha because of Beta being there too. Hey there says, OMG, kill Enid now. So it wants to see Enid be killed off. I'm not sure personally if I want to see Enid be killed off, but I kind of, yeah, because of Carl, right? It's like I hated this part in this episode, as I said in my review, that kind of made it seem like Carl was part of Enid's story. It's like, no, man, just no, It's like, oh, I just don't want to. I don't know, just no. So if they have to kill her off, okay, fine. If that's what they have to do, so we don't have to, hear any more mentions of Carl and how he was part of her development again. Just, drives me mental. Skadoosh, this episode was skippable. They could have condensed the whole thing into 10 minutes. Well, I hear what you're saying in some ways, where it's like, if you think about what actually happened in total, the Kingdomers went on a journey to get a projector light bulb, and the Hilltop basically did a trade and rescued and saved a baby. So it's kind of like, could you condense it down? Well, I don't have a problem with it. 16 episodes a year, every year, year after year after year. And the other stuff that they're putting in there too, they'll probably come back to it. Like, for example, somebody mentioned that Lydia was probably so tripped out by that baby that she saw at the Hilltop, because Lydia probably knows that with Alpha, that's what they do with babies, is if the dead hears them and they can't keep them quiet, then they'll literally just feed them to the dead. And that probably scrambled, or is part of why Lydia got so scrambled in the prior episodes. So there's a lot of stuff in the episodes that you can read into more in terms of meaning if you want to. And also, for example, if you look at the prior episode to this one, that would be episode, would that be 10? Yeah, 10. If you look at the way that they spend some time and they go into kind of how Lydia's been abused, this whole thing, and kind of that's a connecting piece for Daryl. If they people said the same thing after that. But if they didn't go through that, you wouldn't understand why Daryl says no and is so adamant not to hand over Lydia back to Alpha, right? So, it has a purpose, most of it. And there's certain characters that are fan favorites that maybe I'm not a fan of, maybe you're not, but maybe a lot of people like to see Enid and they enjoy seeing those parts with her. So, maybe that's just us. Maybe there's other people that do. And I hear what you're saying, that it's like, well, they could have condensed it down. It's like, yeah, they could, but I enjoyed it through, and it wasn't too bad or anything, I don't think. There's some people saying they thought it was best episode in years and stuff like this. Like, okay, well, I thought it was a good episode. I didn't think it was terrible, but I didn't think it was the best ever either. Jay Solan says, Daryl versus Beta is coming. This really feels like The Walking Dead again. So that's cool, man. Yeah, I can't wait to see Daryl and Beta throw down. It's awesome, man. At least, the feeling with The Walking Dead is like, oh, it's such a shame that they don't have such so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, Rick and Carl and everybody, and all these people are gone. But at least we still have Daryl. At least we still have some of these important characters that are still there. Rowdy says, QandA, am I the only one who finds Daryl and Connie to be a weird duo? So yeah, it's a strange duo. That's for sure. It's a very strange duo. I don't know personally why Connie is offering to go, but maybe after the baby incident, she, I don't know, maybe she thinks she can be of use. Granted, she did save the baby. And where's the baby now? Did they give it back to the Whispers? Maybe I missed that part. I'll have to watch the episode back again. Where did the baby go? After they saved her, is she with the Hilltop now? I don't know. It's strange. SweatyBoy83 says, so freaking pumped for Beta. Ryan Hurst is a dream casting that's going to knock this role out of the park. Hope Alpha and Beta start weeding out a lot of this annoying forced relationships. In Negan's words, let the slaughter begin. Can't wait for next week. So, yeah. Alicia the Dead says, Alpha is so much more evil than Negan. And that's true. Alpha and the Whisperers are way more vicious, way more brutal, way more evil than Negan is. And Negan's bad too, and sometimes, I mean, he'll bash your head. He's not harmless kind of guy, but Alpha is very brutal. I can never see Negan allowing a baby to be eaten by walkers. That's not, no, I don't think that would fit in his, at least he would struggle with it. He wouldn't like it if he had to do it. He certainly wouldn't be indifferent to it. Crazy Prime says, so the actor who plays Henry is better than Carl? ? I don't know, man. That's up to you to decide, right? Which one do you like better? I mean, personally, for me, I just saw these scenes with Enid here and with Lydia, and where Lydia kisses Henry, and I just thought to myself, like, if that was Carl there, it would make a lot more, it would do something different for the love triangle, because then, maybe he's had this strange relationship with Enid, maybe Carl and Enid don't end up being together after all, and they break up or something, or they date for a little while, and then they break up, and then you have Lydia coming in, and Lydia likes Carl and does it in front of Enid, and you have a nice triangle. This way, it kind of was like, is Enid jealous? Well, Enid's with Alden, and so she knows that Henry likes her, but it's not really the same. You see what I'm saying here? It doesn't have the same impact. So I don't know if I'm so concerned about, which actor's better you want to compare in this way. I don't know if that's so interesting. But the thing with me is, like, to have another OG Walking Dead survivor there to pull down those scenes and to be involved with more history with Enid and, to have Lydia come in as part of that, that could be something that could be really cool. It's not bad with Henry. I'm still enjoying it with Henry. It's okay. But I can't help but say, it would have been a lot better if Carl was still there, man. It would have been so much better. Like that scene where Lydia approaches Henry and gives him a kiss before she leaves. If that had been Carl in that spot, that would have been awesome drama, man, for Enid, because of their past in Alexandria and everything that happened before, their rollerblading date and stuff like this. You see what I'm saying? So it's if I had to choose between the two, I definitely would put Carl there if it was my choice. You know what I mean? Instead of Henry. So, but whatever. Too late now. You can't go back, Bob. Michael Dilly says, Beta sounds like Darth Vader. So he does kind of sound like Darth Vader. That's funny, man. I hadn't really thought about that. But we haven't barely heard him yet. And I was one who judged Alpha's accent too early, so I don't want to judge how Beta sounds in the trailers. The trailers are cut. Sometimes certain characters sound weird, and then you get to see the scenes play out, and you're like, oh, that doesn't sound bad at all. That's what happened with Alpha. We saw Alpha in this episode, and I thought it was like, okay, she looks and sounds pretty natural to me, but when you see it in the trailer, it's like, that doesn't sound right at all. So sometimes they cut it or speed it up or slow it down or do weird things with the voice, and so it's hard to tell. But we'll see what he sounds like in the actual episodes. But personally, I don't have a problem if Ryan Hurst does some kind of like monstrous, deep voice or something. That'd be cool. Like, what do you expect him to do? Just walk around and talk like, oh, hey, we better get ready because they're coming. And you got like this huge guy, and he's like, well, Alpha, I think we better get ready. They might be coming soon. Like, is that how you expected them to talk? Like me? No. When things are good, no. You expect him to be kind of scary or something like that. Yeah. He's playing a villain, man. What do you expect? He's this humongous freaking 6'5" or 7 foot tall monster whisper character that keeps everybody in line. He's like a Praetorian for Alpha. I mean, what do you expect him to sound like? That's what you expect him to sound like. Somebody that even Nika would be like, holy shit, look at this guy. He is a scary MFer. NP17 says, the baby scene explains Lydia's reaction to the baby crying. So I wanted to include that to give them credit. That's true, it does. That's a good point. That's a good notice. Defuse says, do you think a potential relationship with Connie would finally make Daryl wash and cut his hair? Yeah, I didn't think so either. So, you want to do a relationship between Connie and Daryl? Is that there wasn't enough relationships already? And we're going to throw in some more babies too, right? It's like, oh, who's doing this season? It's, clearly a woman, right? No, I'm kidding. I don't want to be sexist, right? No, I'm just kidding. But, that's what we need, another relationship, right? No, I don't think that's what we need. But then again, like a lot of the relationships they're focusing on, it could be because at the end of the season, there's like a dozen people killed. And so then all the people that are in those relationships can have a response to that, right? So we'll see, like if Alpha and Beta kill Ezekiel, Carol's going to want to kill him, right? He's going to want to go after him. So you have to focus, I guess, and spotlight those relationships for the different characters first before you kill them all off, and then we all know that everyone's gonna go after them. If it's if they kill Alden and Enid's pissed off, or vice versa, then it makes sense, right? Anyway, that'll be it for today's video, guys. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. More Q&As this week, and decent episode, episode 11. Looking forward heavily to episode 12 and for the remainder of the season. If you like the video, thumb it up below, like it, share, favorite, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys back again soon. It's Trev, and I'm saying peace. See you guys.